This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Railgan and XionS on Orbital Shipyard. This is a Legacy of the Void replay that Railgan sent me. He sends me both wins and losses. And the last video I cast was a loss, so if you're complaining about spoilers, Railgan is a gentleman. He sends me both wins and losses. And so you cannot tell who wins this game at the start. Okay, in the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard, we have the red Zerg player. It is Railgan. And in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have the blue Protoss player, XionS. I think we previously cast a game with XionS. I think it was on Terraform, though. It came up, I think, sometime earlier this week or last week is where we saw this. So XionS is a really solid Protoss player. I'm not going to tell you who won that previous game. I think I will link it here, but what I could do though, nah, I'm not going to spoil it. All right, so I'll link it in the little cards thing here. You can click at the top right and take yourself to game number 1 between these two players and watch that one, because this was a pretty darn fun match. We saw a lot of Legacy of the Void units. We saw some crazy stuff going down. Railgan played well, XionS played well. Production tab needs to be up, and that is about it. So back to the present though, Railgan is getting a 15 hatch out here, not actually back here. I guess maybe it's kind of harder to keep an eye on this section of the map. Kind of get drops from warp prisms here. You can get crazy oracle harass down this way. Maybe it's easier to defend this one than that one, but I guess the distance between all three is fairly equidistant. I was going to say whatever the difference is, but he's taking both of these at the same time, going 3 hatch before pool, and which is pretty darn dangerous to do against a Protoss player, but I guess a little bit less dangerous than against a Terran player if you're Zerg. So crazy stuff right here. Looks like we did go Gateway, Starboard Core, Gas into a Nexus, so not really a fast expand for our friend XionS, but fairly standard as well for the Protoss players. I think Railgun scouted that whole darn thing out. Yeah, he saw the Nexus. Nope, just kidding. He's won. There we go. Saw the Nexus, saw the Cyber Core, saw the Gas. This is probably going to be Adepts at this point. Gateway is not producing anything right now. Warp Gate is being researched, and this needs to be an Adept. Adept! It's only 25 gas. I think you have enough for that. Nope, he doesn't. XionS, actually, no. Where's that gas? Just barely now getting gas, getting 25, and now getting an Adept. No. All right, so the Adept harass is going to be a little bit late for a Protoss player, but that is A-okay. Oh, hidden probe. Are we going to throw down a proxy pylon inside Railgan's base? That would be super dangerous right now. He's not doing anything. Putting it here, I think, is out of range of the vision of that creep. So that's pretty good stuff. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, this guy is now making an Adept. There we go. Protoss players very rarely fall for the not making Legacy of the Void units curse that exists on my casts. At least against Zerg, they always get those Adepts. It's very standard at this point to get them. I think Blizzard did a good job making a unit that Protoss players will like, at least in this matchup. So here we go. Adept being used for defense. We've seen this before as well. Adepts can either go out on their own to try to kill Lings and drones and stuff, or they can be used for defense. Again, because Adepts are good against Lings, but if there's a full surround, it can be pretty dangerous for them. So here on defense, they can sit here and 2-shot Lings to their heart's content. Lings can really only, like, one of them at a time can hit this guy, I think. Not necessarily 2, and so that surround doesn't happen. The Adept gets kills and kills and kills. It's basically kind of an upgraded Zealot, I think, in this particular position, making warp gates out of these gateways. Very smart stuff. Third base is up. This guy, forward pylon, Railgun, no, cannot see it. Can't see it. Warping in what? A ton of Adepts right at the front door. I think they're going to sit back here and kill guys from above. Yes, killing drones from above. 2 of them going in here to kill drones. Psionic transfer being used. Workers dying left and right for Railgun. There is a spine. The surround comes up on these guys though, and they end up dead very, very quickly. These guys Psionic transferred back to this base. Not many workers to kill, unfortunately for them. The Lings are trying to get us around. The Queen is in on the action as well, and all the Adepts, I think, are going to get cleaned up, as well as that forward pylon. Railgun's response time is pretty darn good. Man, I thought those Adepts would do a lot more damage. They did actually kill 7 workers, which is a pretty big number, but the investment of that pylon and of those 4 Adepts was a lot as well. So I don't really know. Railgun is down 27 to 34 workers at this point. Second base is fully established for our friend XionS. Here come the Lings. Railgun is out for blood. What are we going to try to get? Super lag, Zion says. I'm sorry. And then he says go. I'm going to try to get this probe. Can we get it? No! The probe mineral walks through the Adept to the safety of the main base, but cannot take a third base right now. So these Zerglings are doing a good job keeping map control, making sure nothing is going to happen for the Protoss player. Making these Lings pay for themselves is pretty darn important. Can he get a surround here? possibly could get a surround on those Adepts and those Sentries. I think he could probably win that fight with these Lings, but Railgun being a little bit more cautious than I would be, going to back out with those Lings. The Nexus coming down, Pylon coming down as well, and now we're going to try to get it. The Lings, again, just really afraid of fully engaging that and getting killed for their trouble. 15 Lings have died so far in the game. The little blood splatters are over here. Meanwhile, back at the Zerg base, Railgun is getting gas. That's really good. Do we have a lair yet for Railgun? I do not think so. We're not morphing a lair. One is not on the way. There we go. Twilight Council coming up. Now for XionS, this could be Blink Stalkers, this could be Dark Templar, this could be any number of things. It could be regular Templar as well. So we'll have to see what's going on. Keep an eye on that tech path. Immortals on the way. I'm not entirely sure about this decision for XionS because, again, we haven't really seen roaches. I mean, Double Evolution Chamber is coming up. Is there a Roach Warren on the map for Railgun? No, I do not see one. So that is all right. These Lings are trying to work down these back rocks, I guess, trying to make it easier to get into the base if you're Railgun. I think it would provide some defense against attacks from the Protoss, but he wants these rocks gone, so these rocks indeed will be gone. Are we making another Immortal? I think that's the same one. Getting the shield upgrade for the Adepts, making them a little bit more tanky. So that's what we're doing with the Twilight Council right now. Double Forge coming on up. There's that Double Forge I was just talking about. There's the lair being researched. Banelings coming in as well. +1/+1 for ground melee, as well as ground range as far as the armor is concerned as well. The Observer comes in, and I don't think there's anything really to see it. I don't see any Spore Crawlers. I do not see any Overseers as well, but just kind of setting up camp right here, trying to see what comes down that ramp for our Zerg player Railgun. XionS not being too aggressive with it. Fourth base now coming up for Railgun. Man, 4 base. I guess the third base is now up for XionS, so never mind. Fourth base is probably on time as far as I am concerned. The Ling's gonna get a surround. Gonna go for it! No! Railgun takes me out again. Not actually going for it at all. Here comes an Immortal on its own. What on earth are you doing, Immortal? Why are you here? Yep. That's what I thought would happen. That guy ends up dead, coming all the way down here all by his lonesome to get eaten by Zerglings. Immortals are good, but they're kind of support units. You can't really go mass Immortal and hope to win, especially like not single Immortal. It's a bad thing to do. XionS says lol. I think he just lost track of that Immortal, to be entirely honest. Wasn't quite sure where it was, but I guess we'll go ahead and give him that mistake. XionS, like I said, is a really solid player, but even solid players can be afforded mistakes from time to time. Alright, so 84 to 64 Harvesters. Railgun is killing on the macro side of things right now. This fourth base is pretty much fully saturated already. Gonna get gas from that as well. What are we doing? Getting a Lurker Den. Very standard stuff against NZVP and Legacy of the Void. And here we come. Hallucinated Phoenix. Never mind. Nothing too crazy there. I thought maybe it was a Warp Prism, but again, Warp Prisms would probably go along the right side or the left side and be sneaky about it. But gets the Scout on in. There is a Spore Crawler here, though, so Spore might get a couple shots off if that Phoenix comes back around. Spore Crawlers in every mineral line. Just worried, I guess, maybe about Observers, about Dark Templar, about who knows what. More Gateways coming up, +1 armor, just about to finish there. And what are we doing else in XionS's base? I do not know, but we're getting centrifugal hooks for the Banelings here. This is weird. This is like Lurker, Hydra, Ling, Baneling? For Railgun, an interesting strategy. I don't think I've really actually seen that one before against Zerg players, but here comes the big push. We have Adepts, we have Stalkers, we have Sentries, we have Immortals. The Lings get a big surround on this group, though. They do pretty darn well. The Hydra is coming from all angles as well, trying to snipe things down. Pretty good force fields, keeping guys out, and all the Lings are pretty much dying to these Adepts. But I think the number of Hydras that are on the field sniping down every single one of those Sentries going to force a big retreat. Banelings coming in as well. That is not something you want to see. The Banelings crashing on top of these Adepts. They are all low health already. The Hydras do actually take extra damage from these Adepts, but again, it's very, very close right now. Hydras in the back, letting the Lings absorb the damage. Hydras trying to kill the Adepts, trying to kill the Immortals. There we go. The Immortal goes down. Another Immortal left here. All the Adepts are now dead. Another huge group of Adepts are warping in, though. The Lings right on top of these Stalkers and these Immortals. That's going to get cleaned up for sure. These Adepts do better, but the number of Hydras that are here, I think, is just too much for our friend XionS. He is forced to retreat. An amazing hold there by Railgun. Oh, the Lings prevent the retreat of the Adepts. They all get cleaned up. The forward pylons are all dead as well, and that is it. Railgun has to be very happy with himself about that particular hold. It was very amazing, and there we go. So getting plus Carapace, +2 melee attack. Not really working on the missile attack here. Getting ranged, yeah, range attack here. range upgrade for the Hydralisks. The Lings popping in, trying to pick off Immortal again. Can't quite do it. Reinforcing units do show up. Gonna try to take down these backdoor. No, the backdoor rocks are already open. All right, so Protoss has to defend this ramp and this ramp, which can be pretty hard to do. How many oracles? Two oracles. Blah, blah. 2 sentries available. Not a lot of force field available right now. Here come the lurkers, though. Lurkers are morphing in. Excuse me as I take a little drink there. The Hydras are just so scary by themselves, but with the lurkers, Protoss players are beyond themselves of what's going on. Oh, the Lings slip right on into the main here. The Hydras are just going to kind of sit here in between, do what they can, surrounding all of these gateways, going to take down these production units. Where is the army? Here is the army of XionS, trying to get up here and take care of everything that they can see. But the lurkers, I think, are just going to burrow right on top of this army. Yes, there's no observer here. There's not. The lurkers cannot be killed. Must run, XionS. Do not sit here on top of these lurkers. Trying to come back again, though. Trying to snipe down these Hydras, but just taking tons and tons of damage from the lurkers while they do so. I think this main base all got cleaned up. Yes, the Adepts did manage to kill these guys, kill all of the Lings inside that base. But, man, these lurkers are here, and we're getting a Dark Shrine at this point. XionS is a little bit desperate. Overseers flying on in, but I don't see any observers. I think that robotics facility got destroyed, and it did. Lings trying to chase down this guy's into the corner. It's a bad place to be. Lurkers repositioning, taking down that assimilator, taking out a gateway, and just a couple shots here as well. Ooh, the Adept goes down. The Immortal is backed into a corner, using the barrier ability to stay alive just a little bit longer. Lings inside this mineral line, taking down Adepts, trying to kill probes as well. Is this Immortal actually going to survive? Yes, it does. Nice job, Immortal. And that's it. GG. XionS is defeated. Railgan is victorious, and XionS has left the game. So, woo, pretty intense little ZVP there. Railgan playing very well. Again, XionS playing very well. He was pretty good on that push. Railgan barely held it, but in the end, it was too much with the Lurker Hydra push. A lot of Protoss players hate to see it right now, but pretty much the state of things. So this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share my stuff on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and all that. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, thank you for watching, and until next time, you take care of yourself.